Hey everybody, welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, as always, here with my husband Noel. We're in the other side of the studio today. Hey Blasian Bunny. Hello, Reworker's Passion, Southern Charm. I know it's past my bedtime too. What was I thinking? 9:40. But you know what? I'm awake. We're ready to do this. We just finished a podcast. So we're gonna have a great 20 minutes, you guys. I'm super excited about this. I got my notes. It's okay. It's all right, Blasian Bunny. I am here for it. Here for it tonight. Hey Kate, long time no see. So we are going to talk a little bit about build. We're going to wait though because Shop Happy's supposed to be coming over in about another minute or so. So we're gonna get going as soon as she gets here. But y'all, I hope you've been following this raid train all day. There has been some amazing information, and I'm going to touch on it a little bit. My husband just said the raid's coming, so I'm kind of watching, trying not to get into it too much until they get here. I love discounts. It's been forever, at least 5 minutes since I saw you. Hello, Bruce. All right, you guys, we're going to take a final sip of water here before we start talking. And she's got that raid going, so they will be here. There she is right there. Shop Happy. Thank you so much.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
All right, you guys, I'm going to run the giveaway now because I don't want to forget, and I am known to forget giveaways. So tonight, we're supposed to be giving away something that helps another seller. So what I am giving away tonight is a pack of CEO affirmation cards. Those are running right now. They look like this. It is 52 weeks of CEO affirmations, and we're going to talk a little bit about being a CEO. I think it's been touched on, maybe not in that exact language, but it's been touched on multiple times today, and I'm going to hit on it a little bit more. But obviously, before we begin, thank you so much, Blasian Bunny. I have really pulled back on my raid trains, but when I got invited to this one, this is the raid train that is 100% in line with how I feel about Whatnot, our community, and just trying to pass along information that if I can, using my background and my expertise that I have to bring to Whatnot. And I was so excited when I got invited back. So thank you very much. And thank you for hosting this. All right, you guys, let's get going here because we have 20 minutes and then we're going to go see Blasian Bunny. So don't go nowhere.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you. Yes. Thanks, Dee. You guys, there has been so much good information today. I didn't get to listen to every single seller, but I was on and off throughout the day. There is educational, motivational, inspirational, just uplifting words of wisdom today. And what I really, really want to touch on, people, all of this is important. All of the people today, they shared information with you. They shared pieces of themselves, pieces of their experience and of where they've been. And none of us should discount that. When we talk about taxes and business and shipping and strategy and all of these other things that people, their experiences, their history on Whatnot, what they've learned, how they've grown, and they're sharing this with you, whether you think it's valuable or not, if you're humble enough and open enough, you will hear little bits, little nuggets of wisdom. And that's the main point. Every single chat show out there, every other person on this website, we can learn something from. And, I was listening today and I kept thinking that throughout the day. It was like, we don't have to always agree with everything with each other, but we can definitely learn from each other. So let's stick with that. I do want to hit on, there's 4 things that I say make somebody successful on here. And surprisingly, none of it is from the outside. The 4 things, if you've been in my shows, you have heard these and you could probably repeat them because I say them so often. Consistency, commitment, discipline, and integrity. Those are the 4 things that are going to make you successful. And you know what they have in common? They're all within you. They don't come from anybody else. Now, picking up those nuggets of wisdom, they're going to help you tremendously along your journey. But you have to have that consistency, commitment, discipline, and integrity to build the business, not just the show. And that's what we're talking about tonight, is building the business. And build is an acronym. We're going to go through every single letter of the word build, And I'm going to tell you so you can fall back on it. You can think about, I'm building a business, and this is what it means to build a business based on those 4 principles, right? Those 4 cornerstones that hold it all together. So we're going to start with B. We're going to start with B, which is begin with motivation. Motivation is what gets you going, right? That's what gets you excited. You're like, man, Whatnot, so cool. I found this great app. I love selling, or I love vintage, or I love clothes, and I like connecting with people. And you get really motivated and really excited to be here. Hold on to that. Begin with that. But then it is motivation. And what happens with motivation? It's great. It comes. It's like, you're going to work out. You're going to get super skinny and go to the gym. And 3 months later, you're like, I don't want to get up, right? Same thing happens in business. Same thing happens with our motivation here on Whatnot. We're like all in. We are going to go for this. And then the motivation, the honeymoon period wears off. And that's when the real hard work begins. That's when it gets serious, right? So once we start with our motivation, you even bought a new phone. Now that's the motivation right there, because the phones aren't cheap. So once we start with that motivation, we move on to the U. We move on to you. Understand your why. So we start with the motivation, then we understand our why. Our why is what is that consistent thing that's going to keep us going. Motivation gets us started. Our why is going to help us stick to it. Our why is what's going to keep us going through it. Your why answers the bigger question of why you're even here. Why does this business matter to you? Why does getting up and doing a show when you're scared and when you're nervous matter to you? Are you trying to quit a corporate job? Save for retirement? Send a kid to college, go on vacation, whatever it is, it's your why. Pay bills. Your why is what's going to keep you going. Motivation is going to give you that push, and then that why is going to keep you moving forward. So your why reminds you, Galaxy Treasures, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you for being here and staying on the train today. Your why reminds you why tomorrow is so worth showing up for. Okay, so start with motivation and then remember your why. From there, we go into I, B-U-I. We motivation, know your why. Now we're going to implement consistency. How many times have we heard that word today? Probably a lot. You're probably like, don't tell me that C word, Tracy, right? So we're going to implement consistency. This is probably the least exciting thing to do, right? But it's probably the absolute most important. And I'm not just talking about consistency, like do your show once a week, every, same day, same time. It goes deeper than that. It's getting up over and over and over. It's getting up when you've been pushed down. It's when, going live constantly, when you don't feel like it. It's tracking your numbers constantly. Does consistency and consistent work? No. I love discounts. We've had this discussion. Thank you for your purchase from the bin, you guys. I appreciate that. So it's tracking your numbers. It's showing up when you say you're going to show up. That's a given. But tracking your numbers, having consistency in your shipping, consistency in the quality of the items you're bringing. It's consistency across the board. That's what's going to keep you going. Consistency drives that buyer's trust. It helps build that business. Again, the whole concept of this is building a business. So we start with our motivation. We get pushed forward by knowing our why. And then we start implementing that consistency. Okay. From there, we get to the L. We're on B-U-I-L. We're on L. Lean on commitment. Told you, commitment, consistency, discipline, integrity, those are the cornerstones. They're weaved throughout everything we do in business. You can't get away from them. So you're going to lean on commitment. This is where businesses start to separate themselves. Commitment means that you've already decided that you're going to be consistent. You've been pushed. You know your why. You've decided you have grasped onto that consistency and you're committed now. You are in this for the long haul. When sales are slow, you're committed. You're here. When another seller copies your ideas, you're committed. You're here. That doesn't deter you. When sourcing sucks, you're here. You're committed. When the algorithm gods are not favoring you, you're still here. You're still committed. Okay? That's building a business. It's not glamour. It's not go live and everybody loves me and it's a party. That's not how it is all the time. That's how it is some of the time. But there's a lot of days where you're going to be here despite everything else that's going on. You're going to keep showing up. Commitment means your feelings don't make your schedule. Your commitment to what you're building makes your schedule. Okay? I get all fired up, you guys. This stuff gets me going. I don't think the algorithm and you have ever met. Oh, I want you to think about it like this. I am fueled up about this topic. Maybe it's because it's late at night and I'm like, loopy. But think about it like this. A farmer doesn't decide that he's just going to go water the crops whenever they feel like it. He waters the crops because if he doesn't do it, they don't grow. That's your commitment. Your commitment to your business. So no matter what else is going on, you're going to be here. Okay? I want you to take a second because we have enough time here. I'm talking a little fast. Think back over your journey. Think back through your selling journey. What's the one thing that you have stuck with, even though it did not feel rewarding in the moment? What's that one thing? You know what mine is? Mine, I'll tell you what mine is. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mine is my Friday morning shows. They're almost become an anchor show for me. But let me tell you how many days that alarm has gone off and I've been like, oh, another 7 a.m. show. But you can do it. Your seller spotlight shows. You still go live. That's right. Because we were motivated. We know our why. We started implementing consistency and now we're committed to it. Now we can't get out of it. It's like wearing a wedding ring. Now we're stuck, right? We're in it to win it no matter what. Okay. So we have gone through B-U-I-L. We are on the final one. We are on D. Just keep going with the plan. That's right. We are on D. Develop discipline. This is another cornerstone. Discipline. This is where discipline just sucks. Let me just say it like it is. Discipline just kind of sucks. But discipline creates freedom. Ironic as it may sound, discipline creates freedom. A disciplined seller doesn't panic during tax time. A disciplined seller doesn't panic when maybe inventory is running low. Okay? A disciplined seller knows their profit. You know what? I kind of feel this is fitting. I heard Sugar Hill Market open this morning, right after she was the first speaker after Blasian Bunny. And she was talking about knowing your profit, knowing your numbers, knowing your inventory, knowing your business. And that's discipline. And I'm coming back to the exact same points. Why? Because these are tried and true business models that work. And you're going to hear many, many people talk about them because they work. They're cornerstones of what we do. Delta Martin, come to my show in the morning and we will talk in depth about that. I do kind of want to try to finish this because we do just have a short amount of time, but I do appreciate your question. The disciplined seller knows their profit. They know what sells. They review what their shows after every single show. Is that fun? Who likes to sit after a show and be like, well, this sold, this didn't? No, I want to get done with the show and go eat lunch, right? They know where their money goes. Discipline isn't punishment, you guys. When we were kids, we grew up and discipline was like, oh, you better do what's right. I'm going to discipline you. No, discipline is what keeps your business going. Discipline is what helps you keep that commitment that you've just made about walking the straight and narrow, staying in your lane, knowing where you belong, developing a strategy and staying true to your heart and your business strategy and not getting derailed and going off on all these trails that you don't need to be going on. That's discipline. My husband's yelling at me really quick. Y'all, you can always watch this back on YouTube also. Same name on YouTube. So discipline, it's preparation. And the more systems you build, the more disciplined you get within your business, guess what happens? The easier your business becomes. Surprisingly, you put all of this together, then business starts to get easier. That commitment gets easier. The consistency gets easier because you're disciplined to get up and keep doing it. It all fits together. So I want you to think about when we are building our business, not just to show. We're not here just to show up and sell. We're building a foundation for our business. We begin with our motivation. We understand our why. We implement consistently. We lean on that commitment, and we develop the discipline to keep going. That is build. So every time when you sit there and say, I'm building a business, think of really the whole implication, like all of what that really means. You really are building a business. You are doing something amazing here on Whatnot. I want to give you some examples of what discipline looks like, because this is the hardest one, I think, for people to really grasp onto, because it has such a bad connotation to it. But discipline looks like spending 15 minutes every week reviewing your numbers. It looks like entering your expenses instead of just tossing them receipts in the drawer. I've been guilty of that. Just saying. And I'm a CPA, and I've been guilty of that. Scheduling sourcing trips instead of impulse buying. Thinking through what you're going to buy. Planning shows before you go live, not winging it once you hit go live. That's discipline. Knowing what you're going to do and then following through on the plan that you're making. Learning one new thing every week. This is part of the reason why I love this train so much. How many y'all put something in the chat if you've learned something today? Throw your emoji in, throw whatever you want in there. If you have learned something, not just from me, but from anybody on this train today. Because I've learned things today. And that's discipline right there. That is you showing discipline because you showed up to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than what you were when you got up this morning, because you listened to sellers all day long. And no matter what you may have found valuable or not, you learned something today. That is amazing, you guys. That is awesome. All right. I got another question for you. If you can improve just one habit this month, after everything you heard today, all the great wisdom that you heard today, if you can improve one thing starting tomorrow, what are you going to improve? What are you going to take away and improve? Because you just got you got bombed with wisdom today. Just saying. Stop rescheduling. Discipline, consistency, organization, eat before your shows. Love that one. Attitude. Look at this. Look how positive and uplifting this is. Thank you, Blasian Bunny, because without you, all of this going on right now, this is because Blasian Bunny had an idea, and then there were some great sellers who backed her up, and now here we are today. So, I'm going to leave you with just a couple. We have 4 minutes here, so kind of closing thoughts. People often look at successful sellers and assume that they have something special. Okay. All of us have done it. We all have looked around us at different people on Whatnot and think, oh, what do they have? Why don't I have it? They must have something special. They have better inventory. They're more talented. They're more charismatic than I am. They have better luck. Those are all lies. All bold-faced lies. Far more often, you know what it is when you look at those people? They're simply people who kept building while everyone else was waiting to feel motivated. Okay? Don't wait to feel motivated anymore. Take that motivation and move it to the next level. Okay? These are people who kept doing, who took the build model and they implemented consistency, commitment, and discipline, and they did it with integrity, and that's why they're successful today. Again, I want to go back to those 4 cornerstones. None of that is going to come from any PDF you buy, any book you read, any class you take. All those 4 things to be successful on this app comes from within you. Now, I don't say that to discard any of that other stuff, because as I go back to the very beginning, there is nuggets of wisdom you can gain from every single thing, every single person on here, every chat show. There are nuggets of wisdom if you are open and humble enough to accept that into your head and to think about it. But at the end of the day, it's your commitment, your consistency, your discipline, and your integrity that's going to make you successful on this app. And every single one of us has that within us. We all have it. We all have what it takes to build a business that is strong and that will last for quite a while into the future. And with that, we're going to get ready to raid because I have 2 minutes. So don't forget, when you think of build, you're going to think of all that it takes. You're going to think of the consistency, commitment, discipline, and integrity. So You want to be a CEO. I would love for everybody, you know what? If you're running a business here on Whatnot, you are the chief executive officer of your business, and you have the power to really make your business grow and to turn it into whatever it is, that vision that is in your head that you want it to be. This is unscripted. It's a little bit off of what I was going to talk about, but I have 1 minute left. I often say, usually around planning time in January, close your eyes and imagine if you had no limits, what do you want your business to look like? That's within your control. You can reach it. All you have to do then is once you imagine it, once you imagine that, you close your eyes, think if you had no limits, you just then need to make a plan on how you're going to have that happen, and you can make that happen. Every single person you look on here that's successful, they, at one point in time, that was their vision of their success. So with that, we are going to close. Thank you again, Blasian Bunny, and thank you to all the amazing sellers who came before me today on this raid chain. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know I learned a whole bunch. So let's go ahead and raid into Blasian Bunny. If I can find my mouse over here. You got it. All right, my husband's doing it for me. Look at that. He's a good guy. Bye, everybody. Thank you.